edition of Prime on My Media Prime, the last for the week. An edition that is going to be looking at discussion relating to the 2025 presidential elections. We're going to be getting an insight on a particular candidate who is very young, Ateki Caxton. Seta is we are going to be looking at what actually prompted him to get into the presidential race and what he has in store for Cameroonians through his executive campaign manager in the person of Mr. Fabrice Lena, who is with me in the studio. Good evening, Fabrice. We're glad to have you.
One of our major preoccupation was our brothers and sisters in the English-speaking regions that have been unable to get themselves registered or have misplaced their voters card, and we needed to transfer their polling stations from where they previously had registered to the new places where they are now staying or they are being resident. So this particular aspect of voter registration, civic engagement, political participation is very important for every candidate, because what do you want to get from somebody who is your campaign manager? You want to get someone who have knowledge about the political landscape. You want to get somebody who have done something on the field and is capable of mobilizing people, have a number of young people that is following such a person. So I think these are the number of things he considered. And also, given the fact that our team at that point in time had held several meetings, called on different people who are on board, and then he asked that, okay, can we consensually decide and vote as a team who you think can manage this campaign? And everyone was like, Fabrice can do this, Fabrice can do this. And I also think it's because of my communication skills, because you need to have someone that can manage crisis, can communicate on behalf of the candidate, can take certain decisions, can assist, but also have social capital. Social capital matters a lot in politics. You know, calling people and getting things done, people who can easily, you know, open doors and then give some logistics. These are the kind of things, you know. So I think those are some of the aspects that he saw, and I'm sure he also have some reasons that I don't know that made him to think that I'm most qualified to manage his campaign.
Okay, you are most qualified. But how confident he thinks that you are qualified? How confident are you to deliver? We're talking about campaigns that are going to run through 2 weeks across the 10 regions of Cameroon.
Mr. Leo, you've seen me on the field in Cameroon,
yes.
In Bamenda, in Boya, here in Douala, in Maroua, in Yaoundé. If there is a young person in Cameroon doing politics, or that is in Cameroon politics, that have moved around this country to engage fellow young people, but also the older generation, have discussion, inter-community dialogue, talk about political process, talk about change, talk about even activism, even carrying out campaigns on things that are not going right, on taxes that are abnormal, on issues that are affecting Cameroonians, the COVID gate, the CAN gate. All these things I have participated in advocating for its change. So I don't think that there is an extraordinary school or space where they train campaign managers for presidential elections. I just think that it requires a certain profile and a certain personality that understands the needs of the people, and blended with a good political program, which is what Ateki is bringing on the table, and which is what I have imbibed to deliver to the people. A good political program that is easily disseminated to the people, is easily communicated to the people. A political program that describes all the major aspects of what Cameroonians are asking, you know. So I am confident, very confident, most confident that I am able to deliver. Right now, I think we are the sole team in this election that started our pre-campaign activities with serious engagement in Bamenda and Boya. And this was intentional. Okay. And I am at the origin of this. It was intentional, and I did this because I knew that Ateki Seta Caxton is coming from Bangui, and he did his primary and secondary schools there before moving to the University of Boya and before moving to Yaoundé. If he needs to capture the minds of Cameroonians in general, he first of all needs to capture the mind of his own people, his hometown, where he was born, where he came from, you know. And that is why for me it was imperative, it was important against all odds for us to go to Bamenda and for him to talk to the people. And that's why we decided that his activity in Bamenda is not going to be a kind of town hall meeting per se, but it's going to be a street stroll, a street engagement with the bike riders, with traders, with market women, with all category of persons who will have to talk to Ateki, who will have to embrace him, who will have to salute him, who will have to have some kind of physical contact with him. And this is something that not every candidate can do in this particular context. And to talk about Bamenda, it's not something that others candidates have done anyway. We have seen that no other candidate have been able to do that kind of engagement. Okay. Most of the other meetings that are taking place is just, you know, town hall meeting and people. So I think that Ateki's team, it's a unique team, and he's dealing with real smart young people, and that's why we're able to arrive this far. Okay.
Now, Ateki Caxton Seta is among the youngest presidential candidates in these elections. How is that going, this youthfulness going to translate into political advantage?
Yeah, youthfulness per se, it's not a political program, but being a young person means that you have more energy, you have more capacity to do so many things, flexibility, dynamism, you know, putting a kind of more mental exercise into whatever thing you're doing. This kind of plus that comes with youthfulness is what makes us to be able to travel, to discuss with people, to engage, but also because the greater part of the population in Cameroon is the young people. We have a broad-based population pyramid where 70% plus of our population is made up of people below the age of 45 years, which simply means that those who are capable of voting a new president of Cameroon are people of our age group. And we have priorities, we have issues in this age group that is actually and can be better represented by a fellow young person. You know, you see, and he stands the chance to convince these young people that, hey guys, we know the challenges that we are facing in terms of job, in terms of generational problem, in terms of institutional management, in terms of even, you know, the capacity to relate with those who are governing the country now. There's a gerontocratic problem in our country, which is a serious problem. And Ateki Seta Caxton presents himself as that kind of unique candidate who blends youthfulness and also he is capable of bringing the older generation very close. Because when you look at the way he was being invested in this presidential election, the person who gave him the platform is someone in his 70s. And then he is someone in his late 30s. I mean, 39 years old. So you see that he won the heart of an old man, or relatively old man, and he is a very young guy, and therefore he is capable of bringing the two generations together. He's capable of harmonizing, you know, the generational problem in Cameroon, and he is one of those unique candidates in this country that I think, if given the chance to govern this country, Ateki Seta Caxton is capable of solving the generational problem. And he stands in between the two generations, even by the very aspect of how he has been given the platform to run as a presidential candidate.
Yeah, but some persons also see his youthfulness as inexperienced. How do you reassure them that the fact that he is young and may not have handled some portfolios in the nation? You remember the outing of Professor Maurice Kamto recently, who said that the nation needed somebody who has some experience, especially in managing state affairs.
Mr. Leo, when people talk about this issue of experience, it marvels me because the very people who are governing this country came to power very young. The president of this country came to power at 49, and most of the ministers were in their 30s. And they were energetic, they were more performant. The paradox of it is, as they are getting older, it instead diminishes their capacity to perform. So if we were to evaluate leadership or the capacity to manage Cameroon in terms of experience, is it the bad roads what experience can give us? Is it the way the country is being managed right now what experience can give us? If that is what experience can give us, like Ateki Seta Caxton always says, then that experience is a bad one. Because if experience is the kind of unemployment we're having, the kind of bad roads we're having, the kind of bad image Cameroon is having, the kind of situation that we find ourselves in the country, I mean, the experience that even the presidential family is in disarray, is that experience? So if that's experience, then we should ask ourselves, what has experience helped Cameroon and Cameroonians to achieve? I think the question of experience rather should be on the candidate's track record of things that such a person have achieved in a given period of time. Take Ateki, for example. This is a young man who, after his university studies, doing international relations, engaged in training young people in governance, in sustainable leadership, and has done so for a period of 10 years, a decade. From 2015 to 2025, Ateki has been able to train over 10,000 youths in Cameroon in leadership, in governance, in how to inculcate some values and principles. And this is Ateki Seta Caxton. And this young man, when it comes to portfolio, he has exercised what they call leadership, not only in Cameroon but beyond. This is someone that has done fellowship programs in Stanford University and challenged world leaders. He has done summits in France and challenged world leaders. He has even written article that is being made a book right now, A Coloniality, where he's trying to challenge the system that brought us to where we are today.
Yeah, but you also understand that our youth are actually very skeptical about politics because they have been disillusioned, and it's been difficult to get youths to engaging in this what you guys are going in for. How is Ateki connecting with them beyond the social media campaigns?
Ateki Seta Caxton is a candidate of the field. One thing people don't know about him is this is a guy that doesn't communicate up to 50% of what he does on the field. I am telling you, as his campaign manager, he doesn't communicate much, but he does a lot on daily basis. I don't think there is any candidate that is doing what Ateki is doing on the field. Most of the other candidates, put a lot on social media after every hour, but on the field they do very little. And this is what I admire so much about this guy. He believes so much in value. He puts a lot of value in what he does. He tells me sometimes, Fabrice, it's not necessarily about creating content around everything we do, but it's about achieving the goal, the quality goal of seeing this country changed. This is someone that has clarity of thought of what he wants, and the way he wants to change this country.
For those who are watching the program and they want clarity, who is on what Ateki has for the people, just put it, I'll ask him. But somebody says, good evening, Mr. Leo and Mr. Lena. I wish to ask the stance of PAL on coalition or relying behind a single candidate.
I will want to say that Ateki Seta Caxton, for the person who asked this question, Ateki Seta Caxton is for coalition. This guy is doing everything to make sure that we have the winnable coalition. This is his position. He writes this on his page in the different social media platform. He says this everywhere. He talks this on media platforms. During his interview, he says, Ateki Seta Caxton is for coalition, but he cannot do coalition with himself. Coalition demands 2 or 3 or 4. There is the issue of consensual candidate. There's the issue of coalition. He is for. At the beginning of the process, we all saw him in the discussions at Fumban and in Yaoundé. And right now, he is still in the discussions that are unfolding to see how we could get into that setting that will permit us to say, hey, Cameroonians, we've come to realize that this person can help us remove that jigger that is eating our feet, and then get to a new system and negotiate how to manage Cameroon after Paul Biya. Ateki is for coalition and is working for this day in, day out, tirelessly. Please pray for him. Please support him. And that is the best thing you can do for Ateki Seta Caxton and his team.
Okay. Yes. This one says, I wish to ask what Ateki's plans are for the people of the Northwest and Southwest region. Good evening.
Okay. This is a very interesting question. I knew that we are going to discuss this with Mr. Leo, but let me just give the answer straight away. Ateki's plan is to take back our country and create a new federal structure, because he believes that to solve the problem that is existing in our regions, we need to look at the root cause of the problem. But he always says, I am not prescribing anything to you guys. This is my proposal. But what I'm going to do in the next 100 days when I get to office, first, release all political prisoners, including the Naira 10, and including the Coffee Revolution guys, and all those arrested and locked up linked to the Anglophone crisis. The second thing, we're organizing a dialogue, an inclusive dialogue, without taboo. Express your mind. It is normal for you to be angry, and express that anger in the process of discussion, negotiation, and consultation. And the resolutions that will come out of this discussion and negotiation will form the basis of the establishment of a new constitution, the constitution that will govern Cameroonians. This is what Ateki is saying, including his own personal proposals, because as a candidate he has proposals written in our political program, and he says, I will want us to go back to a federal structure, and in such a federal structure we have voted governors, we have no DOs and SDOs, we have 5 years presidential office mandate renewable ones, and we have a system of redistribution of resources where people in each community, each region, can manage the greater percentage of the resources they produce in order to take care of their basic needs, including basic education, including healthcare, including farm to market products, including agriculture. These basic things are not supposed to be the preoccupation of the central government in Yaoundé. He will give people the capacity, the autonomy to manage these things themselves. This is what Ateki is producing. But he will want you to contribute into this process during the dialogue that is going to be all-inclusive, including those in the diaspora. There will be a consultation, and there will be a process of rekindling hope with everyone else. Okay. I think this is something unique that we should embrace. I think if you're satisfied with this, you should give us your response. And if you have further questions, don't hesitate to go to www.ateki2025.com. It is an open platform. You can ask your question there, you can make your comment there. But if you think that you have to connect with us, I am here. You can go, you can send your message to Mr. Leo, and then we'll get connected and we exchange deeper about what Ateki wants and has for the people of the English-speaking region. He is so passionate about this, and he says all the time, this is one of the reasons for which I am standing to say that I will manage this country better as an English-speaking Cameroonian, but
Okay.
above all, as a Cameroonian.
Yeah, but some persons think that it's more of theory. Practically, does he have what it takes? Has he what it takes to do what you just said? Because you may be theorizing.
I mean, Mr. Leo,
talking politics here. We are talking about
Mr. Leo.
We are talking about meeting persons who have vowed that they don't want to have anything to do with Cameroon. Ayuk Tabe is in the prison, says, I do no longer want to. That is the practicalities that people want.
Mr. Leo,
yes.
What is sure?
Yes.
What is sure is that every political decision in life can be changed. Every human decision can be changed. It depends on the approach. It depends on the person. There are certain people who will say, I can never talk to this person, but I can talk to this other person. There are people who will tell you that this approach is better because it's humble, but this other approach is not good because it's arrogant. I think that the approach, the manner in which you go to people to make a proposal is one thing. And then the person, the profile of the person, the track record of the person. Is this person having that integrity? Is this having the honesty? Does this person's profile befit that kind of person that can earn people's trust? That is the thing that people look around. In politics, these are the things. It has happened in other countries that people take hard stands and later on they soften them. It happened in Angola at one point. Jonas Savimbi negotiated with late Agostinho Neto in Angola, but they were arch enemies, people who never come together. You see, and in so many other circumstances. The thing here is, politics is not static. Politics is not static. It's not like 1 + 1 is 2 in maths or in chemistry. Politics is human beings, and human beings are people whose position change with time and whose position also change because of circumstances. Ateki, Seta, Caxton has the profile, has the integrity, has the alacrity, has the oton maningata, has the capacity. I'm telling you, I mean, this guy is a unique human being. I have worked close with Ateki, and I've tried to study the kind of stuff God used to create this young man. He works 24 hours all round. I'm telling you, Mr. Kum, this is someone with whom we are in the same neighborhood. We are neighbors. We work 24 hours. When you talk of capacity, if Africans think that the Burkina Faso strongman, if Botswana guys think that Duma Boko, if Madagascar guys think that Andre Rajolina, these are young people, and Senegal, Ateki can do it. He has proven it in the civil society. His civil society organization is one of those that is not found wanting. Go and ask his profiles at Minat. Go and ask his profiles at with his donors. I said he is one of those people whose civil society organization is not found wanting at all fronts. When you talk of auditing, when you talk of payment of employees at the right time, these are things that people have found. They have digged, they have done everything to see if they can have skeletons. They have not seen anything. What do you people want again? For Ateki to shed his blood for you as Jesus Christ did at the cross of Calvary, at Golgotha? This is a young man that has everything it takes to be president of this country. Give him some credit. I mean.
Okay. They should give him some credit. So many questions are there. Just be ready. I'll be reading them out. So many persons are writing and asking. They want to get to know more. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please ask your guests why most of them politicians are confusing us, the electorate, with this issue of coalition. Last week, Issa Chiroma was presented as a consensual candidate, but you keep on talking about ongoing discussions. And yesterday, we had somebody who was here also on behalf of Barrister
Akere Murakajokem. I saw her.
Yes, and almost everybody is talking about ongoing negotiations. And majority, I can say 80% of those who wrote yesterday said they were really confused, and some say they are not going to vote because the reason why they got registered and took their cards, it was based on the fact that they hope that by now people were supposed to present a consensual candidate.
Yeah, dear Cameroonians, one thing you should know is that it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 to do coalition, and it's not easy. There is generational issue, there is political program issue, there is resource issue, and then there are other contingencies. There are so many other things. You see, it's not as easy as getting up and then taking your phone. Ateki taking his phone and say, hey, Barrister Akeremona, let's meet, let's form a coalition. It's not just like that. There are so many things. There are discussions. Yeah, there are agreements. There are things that must be clarified, Mr. Leo.
Yeah, but were you not supposed to have engaged these scenes?
No, it's not like engagement started late. Remember that immediately after the candidates put their documents at Elekam and then Constitutional Council was doing its job, there were discussions already. There were ongoing discussions. But the problem here is this. There are a lot of evaluations that, I mean, Yaoundé discussion will have produced something. But people are asking.
Were you in Fumbat?
I was not in Fumbat, I was in Yaoundé.
No,
we were in the Yaoundé discussions.
You guys met in Fumbat and later on
in Yaoundé
for 3 days.
Yeah.
And were unable to produce a candidate. That is why people watching are very confused.
Yeah.
Why did you not succeed in getting someone?
Just the factors I mentioned, because many things need to be sorted out. A lot of things need to be sorted out, and just not just that things need to be sorted out. We need to weigh. Let's not go for coalition just because we want to satisfy people who are saying that we should go to coalition. For every political decision you take, there are consequences that you must assume. You must assume. So what happens is, if you go into a coalition that does not have the probability to win, be sure to bear the heat of it, you know. And if you go into a coalition that does not have the necessary parameters surrounding the electoral process in order to galvanize Cameroonians to the magnitude of vote that is needed to secure a win, these are the things. These are the things. Because in Yaoundé, at one point, the candidates that were remaining, none of these people had done some kind of mobilization that has proven to people that they were able to do mobilization. So now discussions were like, what's your capacity to mobilize? What resources do you have to keep on the table? What you see? So immediately after the consensual candidate thing in Yaoundé did not produce a consensual candidate, what happened? All the candidates get to work. Okay, let's see what you can do. Ateki now took us. We went to Bamenda. We went to Boya. We passed through Yaoundé, did some communication, did some field activity, went to Monateli. The same thing I saw with Barrister Akeremona. He went to the field and he's doing great job. The same thing I saw with Madame Patricia Taimano Ndamjoya. She went to the field, doing great job. Issa Chiruma, same thing. He went to the north and was received. Now everybody can see to some extent the kind of force and in terms of electoral base and electoral capacity what each of the candidates can put on the table. And right now the discussions are more concrete. That's why I said what is ongoing now, it's more concrete than what was ongoing at the beginning of the process. What is ongoing now is more concrete because now the questions are, okay, we don't have time, we have 26 days left, we need to take this decision. But do not forget that the system in place is also pushing the opposition to quickly take decisions so that they can also adjust into that. Yes, please don't forget that we have an opponent that also have, you know, a cabinet that has been designed for this election. So they know that each time opposition guys are coming to talk and to do these things, there are people who have said categorically that they are not for coalition. And then there are people who on daily basis, Mr. Leo, me is talking to you here. One of the things that have made our team not to be complete here today is because of the coalition thing that is still ongoing, because we had to share the campaign team, one following up the other stuff and then the other doing the communication and the mobilization. We are spending about 50% of the time that we had initially planned for communication and mobilization on the coalition issue. It's not easy like Cameroonians think. We are dealing with humans. We are also dealing with reconciling two generations. When you take the 11 candidates, you see sharply generational clash between those in 70s, 80s and those in 40s and 30s. You see resource clash. You see all those things. So we are not dealing with the same kind of context and situation that is in Kenya or in Nigeria. We are dealing with a kind of unique context. But also, Cameroonians, do not say that you have to give up because you're not seeing the candidates putting up a coalition. Coalition can happen 24 hours to election. It can happen 1 week to election. It can happen 2 weeks to election, as well as it can happen way long before. But I'm saying that the machinery we have in front of us are people who do not come to communicate to you guys the way we do, with clarity, with transparency, and with openness. They stay to make everything opaque, so that we, the opposition, give all the informations, and then they work strategies to counteract it one after the other. Understand this. Understand this. And these are people that have been doing this year in, year out, in order to make sure that we are out of the game. But also, we are telling our other brothers who are still in the race and who are also candidates to say, for what reason on earth do you think you can do this alone? That is why for us, even with what we have done already on the field, with what we are planning to do, we still think that we should do this with others. We have to do this with others. Cameroonians, it's not easy. If it was easy, I would have just taken my phone and called, hey, I mean, when you look at the team of Hiram, we have friends, colleagues, people with whom we are together all the time. When you look at the team of Cabral, of Oshi, of Akere, we are the same people. We are in the same cycle. But you know what? At the end of the day, the decision comes from the candidates themselves. Because it is the candidate who says that, okay, I am giving up my position for that other person. Okay, I think that this person have the capacity and the quality to manage this thing, not better than me, but because we are putting the supreme interest of Cameroon. And this is what Ateki says. The other day he granted an interview in another media where he said Cameroonians should understand that the candidates have tough decisions to make. As of what concerns me, I am ready to make that decision. When someone is going into coalition, the person should have in mind that he can come out being the candidate, as well as he can come out not being the candidate, and he should be able to accept this. This is what Ateki has been saying all the time. What do you want from Ateki's team? They have shown example of what should be done, and they are working on daily basis on what is right and can be rightly done. I still say Ateki cannot do coalition with himself. He cannot auto-declare himself consensual candidate, but he is also ready to continue this process. We in Yaoundé have been knocking all the necessary doors, but we want to let the elderly people understand with us that the issue of looking at the younger generation with a certain narrative, with a certain perspective, with a certain consideration. Because when I look at the declaration that was made by some of the political leaders,
what are they telling you people? That you guys are young, you still have time?
Yeah, that is most of the things that they say. You're young, you know, you have to, you have all the time ahead of you. We don't have much time. Let's fix this for you guys and leave it. You see? Yeah, but even if we were to say, yes, you're right, what you're saying is right. Okay. Now, let's go to possibility of us accepting just from A What about B? What about C? What Ateki and Fabrice Lena will accept, Hiram and Kotem might not accept. What the other candidate might propose, it's not what the other people might propose. There must be a certain level of harmony, which is above 50%. So, which means about 3 or 4 candidates must agree on something. And then there we are sure that combining 3 or 4 people will give us a win. One thing Cameroonians should know is that 2025 is not 2018. The system and the party in power has been weakened. They have been weakened in the northern regions. They have been weakened in the littoral regions. They have been weakened in northwest and southwest. They have been weakened.
Okay.
It's even being weakened by the president's daughter.
Fabrice, please, let's not go there. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to your guest, Fabrice Lena. Listening to his candidate's plan, I can gather: release all political prisoners, bring down presidential term to 5 years, renewable ones, return to federation, constitutional amendment, an inclusive and real national dialogue to end the crisis in the English-speaking regions, etc. These are almost same things I hear from Honorable Joshua Osi, Barrister Keremuna, and Mr. Chiroma. What then is really difficult for them to choose a consensual candidate among them to reduce confusion in the minds of many come the 12th of October 2025. Thomas is writing from Mutengene. Mr. Kum, thanks for your Cameroonians are educated through your media. As Mr. Lena, Ateki Caxton comes from Momo division of the Northwest region. Why don't he join Akeremuna, as both of them are from the same division? Caxton writing from Jinikong. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The young man, these 7 years, there's no planning. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. Please, for Fabrice's number, I was heartbroken when the PM made an utterance in Bamenda that Mr. Biya has always fulfilled his promises. Like the Babaju Road, I felt the pain in my heart because the PM whom I have held with high respect dropped that respect with almost 0% because the ring road and all main roads in Bamenda are a mess. Tell Kangaroo Man that we missed him on the program. Power 5 is writing so Cameroonians could cast their votes. I think all we need is almost the same messages. Yeah. Mr. Liu, please ask your guest if he knows about the Union for Change. They keep talking about ongoing discussions. Almost everybody is saying the same thing. Do you understand where Cameroonians are coming from?
Yeah, I really feel I'm not out of Cameroon. I'm a Cameroonian as well. Mm-hmm. Being campaign manager for a candidate doesn't mean that I don't understand the realities. As a young person myself, I understand. And if there is someone who is deeply pained about the issue of coalition not working and he's a candidate, it's Ateki. We say this thing every day when we are going back home in the car, and then we will stop. Like he was like, "Oh, bro, if Cameroonians could understand how tough this thing is, and how we wish it could be that easy for us to just come and then present something to them, and then we do this the way they want it." Yeah, politics, unfortunately, is a very complicated and complex thing. Very complicated and complex thing, which takes a lot, and that's why very few and selected kind of people engage into it, because you must have about one. Surprisingly,
so what are you saying?
So alternatively, Cameroonians as well can say that everything else except CPDM. There is a small explanation I want to give at this point. You see, the president in power has always been winning with an amount of 2.5 million votes since 2011. Maybe before 2011 he has been winning with a more amount of votes. 2018 precisely he won with 2.5 million votes. In 2025, Elekam has given us the statistics that 8.2 million people have registered, and right now they have not given us the statistics of the number of people who have taken their cards. We could have a more clearer calculation from there. But if we assume that we are going to have 70% participation in 2025 presidential elections, then we are looking at about 6.5 million people actually going to vote out of the 8.2 million people. And if this is the case, with the situation we have, where the northern part of the country, the allies of the north, UNDP and FNSC of Chiroma and Bello respectively, have withdrawn their support, this simply means that that 2.5 million vote is no more guaranteed, because people vote the party in power by grudging compliance. And this simply means that opposition is planned on about 4.5 million votes. 4.5 million votes. And in this 4.5 million votes, if Cameroonian people say we are dedicating this vote, we are dedicating this vote to this person that has convinced us, to this person that has entered in our hearts, to this person that is sincere, the party in power will be defeated in it, because it's a one-round vote. This is a one-round voting exercise, where it just suffices that the first person comes with let's say 3.1 million votes, and then the second person comes with 2.9 million votes, and the first person is winner. We don't have runner-off here. And this is one of the things that is making our political process difficult around the issue of coalition and so on. Because if we were doing a second round voting to choose the two best, it would have been easy. This thing will facilitate us. And who are the architects? Those in power. Sanction them. Come together and sanction them. The mathematics is simple. Do not vote them. Do not vote them. I don't agree with people who say if opposition don't come together, they are not going to vote, they are going to abstain. Abstention is going to instead play negatively on you and not on the opposition. Believe me, it's going to play negatively on you as the citizen, as the unemployed, as the person not enjoying the merit and public goods of your country, because people are depriving you of it. And it's going to give now a paradox of those who are in power keep staying there and keep doing what they are doing. Please, an error of those who are trying to cause change, or what they are doing deliberately or not deliberately, should not be the basis for you not to fulfill your civic rights. Two wrongs do not make a right. Please, play your own role. Do your own what you are supposed to do. Play your own role. And I think that we will, at one point and by some disposition, have a change. That is my belief. That's what I think. Because nobody has the magic wand. But all of us are in the process, including you. So don't say that if opposition don't, no. Play your own role. Choose wisely. Take the decision. It's just that in our country we are so comfortable with the blame game. This person ought to, this person ought to. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. These guys have hijacked everything. Do you know what it means to sponsor 31,000 polling agents in 31,000 police stations in Cameroon? It's estimated that if you were to just give 10,000 per polling agent, you're at about 300 million francs CFA just for polling agents. You have not trained them. If you were to offer training for these people for just 2 days or 3 days, you should be in about another 50 or 100 million. This is what it takes. I have not seen any candidate in this election that has been able to do a kind of public fundraising that has permitted the person to be able to take that financial responsibility in doing all these things in full swing. Yeah. That is another thing that Cameroonians should consider.
Yeah, but if Cameroonians should consider this, almost all of them say they want coalition, and for the past 2-3 years, that has been the same. So almost all of them have been expecting this.
I agree.
But today, politicians are telling them that you cannot understand what we are saying. You people already knew what they expected from you. What is difficult in forgetting party, in forgetting personality, and put the dire interest of the people, say we all are going for a transition, 3, 4, 5 years transition, to fix the institutions, fix the electoral code, because all of you are complaining about it, fix all of these things, and that, okay,
nearly all the candidates agree on the issue of electoral code.
Yes.
All the candidates agree on the issue of form of state. all the candidates agree on the issue of institutional reforms. Now, the issues of divergence is now about the mandate. The person who wins, does the person run the 7 years and does reforms within the confines of the current constitution, or works within the confines of the agreed, like something similar of that of the UPC, where they say, okay, you come for 3 years, you do the reforms, and you organize another election, you don't take part, you know, or you take part, you know. So see, so this is where most of the argument lies, right? But you don't just get up and then you say, okay, I invested by PAL, it's going, it takes 2 or 3 to do coalition. You might have a will, but the other people must also agree with you. All these points. After Yaoundé, I am part of the technical committee that is working on harmonizing the political programs, you know. And then we've been doing this work, which is being exploited. It's being used, actually, right now. You see, so some progress have been made because we've been able to come out with common points in all the political program. Because 7 political parties were present from the start of the Fuman discussion to Yaoundé, and then at one point they said, okay, since we were unable to bring the constitutional candidate in Yaoundé, we should now form a technical committee in charge of bringing or harmonizing. We are there. I'm there working with Paul Mayel of Ateki 2025, with the other guy working with Madam Patricia Namjoya, and also FASC. So the commission is there. They are working, you know, while the candidates are talking among themselves. I am not pessimistic. I am optimistic. I am sure. I am very convinced that something is going to come out. There will be some low-hanging fruits that you will pluck as Cameroonians from these discussions that is happening among candidates. Do not give up. Keep putting the pressure. It's important. Keep putting the pressure. I like the spirit of accountability, the spirit of pressure that Cameroonians are coming on with. It's nice. It's very important for competitive politics, and to make the whole thing work nicely. Yeah.
Okay, the 11 candidates are just confusing Cameroonians. Plus, the 4.5 million votes he is talking about will be shared amongst the 11 candidates. If the opposition wants to win, they must show signs of victory, which is united. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please help me tell Mr. Fabrice that a great majority of Cameroonians are prepared to vote for a new leader, but without coalition leader, Cameroonians will find it difficult to vote amongst the different candidates, which gives the CPDM an upper hand to win the elections. Ange Malon is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to Mr. Fabrice. I now understand why the coalition cannot work. It is witchcraft. Now is the time for all those who call themselves prophets, apostles, mamas, papas, to come out and pray to deliver our opposition from the spell they are under, because I don't understand. Please tell them not to come at the end with false prophecy. Princess Atusa is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Luis in Boya. Please tell your guest that the lost generation of Cameroonian youths are saying that no coalition, then no need for elections on October the 12th. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Luis in Boya. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. This is Lawrence from Yaoundé. Please ask Mr. Lena why I should vote for candidates who don't have my interest and the interests of Cameroonians.
No, I mean, let him tell us his interest. If his interest is coalition, we are working on it. We are still in the process, and we will definitely deliver. Indeed.
Okay. No. Let's look at the campaign strategy of your candidate. This election is expected to be one of the most competitive. What is PAL's ground game strategy? Door-to-door campaigns, rallies, digital mobilization?
Yeah, I think Ateki itself is already a selling point for his campaign, as someone who has done a lot of work, and then he's having a profile, and then he's having an energetic young team around him. But beyond that, we believe more in field work. We believe more in mobilizing the grassroots. We believe more in meeting the market women, meeting the bike riders. We believe more in talking and engaging directly with students. with professionals, and then with the meet professionals. We believe more in having continuous dialogue with the diaspora and rekindling hope with them. This is what we are doing on a daily basis. At least Ateki himself makes not less than 10 to 15 calls every day to strategic partners, to Cameroonians, to leaders of groups, every day that got created. I do same, and why our subcommittees and groups are now doing the necessary engagements. Yesterday, we had a meeting and engagement with the Executive Committee of Cameroon Workers Union in Yaoundé at our campaign headquarters, and also with a couple of journalist representatives in Yaoundé. And we keep on engaging this category of persons beyond just the political program, things that are not in our political program that we have not explicitly explained them or put them out there. When they come after this exchange and after this, sorting of ideas, we now come to realize that, okay, this is important, and then we note all these points. At the level of communication, we have a wonderful communication lady, Odile Pal. Je te dis, courage. She's doing a lot of great job in order to design the way Ateki appears and disseminates the political program. But our campaign is on two key things. Ateki took the decision to run in order to solve the problem that the English-speaking regions are solving in this country as top priority. And economic relief and job creation as the second top priority for him. So, you see, political institutional reforms, economic job creation, making Cameroon to be buoyant again, taking the considerations of entrepreneurs has been what he has been communicating all through. And that's why when he goes out to talk, there are two key things he must mention: solving the Anglophone crisis and giving practical ways in which he wants to solve them, and the measures, explaining it. We could have a program where we are detailing every step of how we want to solve this problem, because we have taken time to study it, we have taken time to analyze it, we have taken time to understand the actors, the stakes, and we have taken time to propose tangible solutions, and also going to the wealth of proposals that are existed from other initiatives. And when it comes to the economic policy, he talks about the minimum social package, which is a package that every community, the 360 municipalities of Cameroon, will at the same time be growing at geometric rate, because for Ateki, Seta, Caxton, the budget that the central government gives to this community is, first of all, very small and must move from 15% to 20-25%, depending on the size of the municipality and its priorities. And when it comes to basic things like education, like healthcare, like goods, consumables, farm products, agricultural aspects, these things should be autonomously managed by municipalities in collaboration with their regions. And that's why for him the voting of governors is very important, because it's going to give autonomy for the governors to give accountability to their people who vote them, you see. And then the mayors are going to now have more resources at their disposal, which will also have track and checks in order to do the job that they need to do. Things like constructing inter-community roads, municipal stadiums. There is no need for people like DO and SDO and central administration to be given authority. If a rich person in a community feels that he wants to offer a merit or public good, you see, they can do them within the capacity of their municipality or their regions, after fulfilling the necessary administrative procedures, without necessarily having some kind of because corruption is the main problem in the process of public-private sector collaboration.
Let's come back to this coalition issue. There are some persons who are writing to ask you why at least the English, the Anglophones cannot come together. We have Ateki, we have Fabrice Lena, we have Joshua. Why can't the three of them, not even if not to prove, let us even see them talking together?
Ateki and Fabrice Lena talks every day.
Okay.
Barrister Akeremona
like
have received us, and then we have, I mean, the discussion is every day on the coalition issue and as presidential candidate, not as people who know themselves. No. They talk every day on the coalition issue and as presidential candidate.
So why is it not working? Why can we not at least have a coalition between Akere and Ateki?
I mean, the coalition is not just being done to please for the sake of doing coalition. If you're doing coalition, you should look at all the factors. What is the purpose of the coalition? Is it to win election, or is just to satisfy the ego of people who want coalition? That's the thing. That's the thing. Barrister Akeremona is invested by a party which has a bastion of support with some other parties which have given him his support. Ateki is invested by a party that has bastion of support with some other civil society movements and persons that have given him the support, right? Now, for them to come together, they first of all have to sit on the table of politics to say, what will it take for us to obtain 3 million votes to beat this man? That is the question. It's not that because they are English-speaking Cameroonians, they should just come and form coalition, and then now Cameroonians, Barrister Akere, and then Ateki has formed coalition, and so what? And so what? Because the thing here, even up to now, what has been the issue is, what is that type of coalition that will make a win? This is where the problem is. What is that type of coalition that will make a win? If you form a coalition that is not capable of making a win, the consequences of what will happen after the 12th, we know what happens to politicians after elections. Some of these people who are calling us coalition, coalition, I hope that people are visiting those people who are in Konenge, because some MRC people are still in Konenge since last election. Because whatever thing that you are proposing, be ready to be part of the solution and play your own role. That's what I keep insisting. Play your own role in the process. Because you don't just form coalition. If we are going to coalition, we must be sure that this is something winning. This is something serious. This is something that has the backing of Cameroonians. We are not neglecting you, but we want to work out something that when it come out there, you yourself, you will be happy. You appreciate it. You will say, oh, it took time, but this guy came with something that it's going to give us the joy at the end of the day. That is it. Because I belong to that school of thought where either you do it or you don't do it. You do it very well or you don't do it at all. You see? So it takes time to cook a good soup. You know? Ladies know what I'm talking about. It takes time to produce something that is nice. So please, dear Cameroonians, bear with us. We are working on this thing. We are working, Mr. Leo. We are working, and I'm optimistic that something, by some disposition, I don't know, there's a spirit that guides you when you're doing something, and then your heart is open, your mind is free. Sometimes it's very tough. People who follow my status, as I write, sometimes I just get up in the morning and say, it's tough, but you don't know how it is. It's tough. It's just easy to say, okay, why is Akeremona, why is Oshi, why is...
It's tough. You're justifying. Okay, let's assume that, okay, because you say Akeremona's party needs to give their blessing, your party needs to give its blessing. I'm talking about militants who nominated this candidate. They need to give their blessings. They may end up not giving their blessings. Those are the top brass of the respective parties. How do you intend to get into the nooks and crannies of the nation? I'm talking about those remotest areas for campaigns to get the
we already have a national campaign strategy, national mobilization strategy, national communication strategy, and We know exactly what to do. Just like what we did in Bamenda, what we did in Boya, what we did in Monatili, what we did in Yaoundé, what we are doing in Yaoundé 6 right now, what we are planning to do here in Douala and the extreme north. There is already, a chain of programs and people who are already working. And I want to use this opportunity to say, our guys in the extreme north region, keep mobilizing, keep doing the job. We are coming up very soon. We might come up as Ateki 2025, or we might come up to present to you people the consensual or the coalition candidate. So these are the possibilities of what can happen in the next days. In any way we come, be ready to receive us, because our interest is that at the end of the day, there should be a win. This is what we do and tell our people. What is happening right now is that we have our plans, but we keep in our mind that if we get a candidate that is going to represent all of us, within the time that we are implementing our plans, now we need to what? Harmonize. We need to what? Fuse, mutualize, the programs. Our program as a campaign team, as a candidate, with that of the group, the team that we're going to sit together to discuss on the general and coalition candidate campaign strategy. For us, this is important, because if you are going to coalition, or if you're talking about consensual candidate, you must bear in mind that at one point in time, it might not be your campaign strategy that is going to be implemented. It might be the coalition campaign strategy that is going to be implemented, and you should be also ready to accept this. And this is where we are right now.
Okay. This is the campaign where we are right now. The elections are supposed to take place for the campaign to run for two weeks. Yeah. Yes. Do you have the manpower, financial resources to take 2 weeks to cover all 360 subdivisions?
If we have been able to stand tall till this moment, then we are ready to go through, Mr. Leo. And I will use this opportunity to call the supporters of Ateki, Seta, Caxton, to call the sympathizers of Ateki, Seta, Caxton, to call supporters and sympathizers of Nawa Future to join us in Douala, this weekend on Sunday evening. Ask for my contact. Let me give you the location. I don't want to do publicity of a place here without the authorization of Mr. Leo. To join us, to discuss, to join us and enjoy the glory, and enjoy something, a political package, something very interesting that you will come and discover on Sunday evening. So this call is just in relation to your question, that how are we going to get to the nooks and crannies in the whole country. We are currently building. We are building. And it's visible what we are doing. Like I said, we are that campaign team that match our field actions with social media. It's not necessarily to amplify things on social media, to go and then a greeting of a Cameroonian is dramatized. We don't do those things. We don't dramatize. Just going to greet somebody, it becomes like a whole political project and so on. No. Ateki campaign team is very authentic. It is true to itself. It does what it publish what it does on the field, and does what you see on our different social media platforms. We know that social media is good for campaign, but we want to be true to ourselves. We don't overestimate, we don't underestimate. We do what is objective and what is true, and it's because the candidate doing this is from the civil society background, somebody who has done qualitative study of impact-oriented campaign. Impact-oriented campaign. The campaign that is impact, the lives of the few people that are working with us in this campaign is never going to be the same again. Intellectually, capacity-wise, in terms of the way you look at things, in terms of your profile, in terms of who you become, in terms of how you interact with people, in terms of the quality that you're going to get from this, in terms of the way Ateki and Fabrice Lena does things, in terms of that kind of young people who are the future leaders of this country. This is the kind of dream we are selling, and this is what is happening. You can ask a couple of young people around us. You can ask Ku Desmond, he will tell you this. You can ask Your Bless, he will tell you this. You can ask Sai Lisa, she will tell you this. You can ask, and so on and so forth. They will tell you what I'm talking about, because they know what we do.
Okay, you know what. Now, the opposition parties have historically struggled to unite. Now, PAL is also taking that posture now. Why is PAL not playing that sacrificial role? Because when you look at Akeremuna, he's ready to give in. He says it openly. He's not putting these conditions that you're putting here. He moved to Professor Maurice Kamto. He's moving to everybody, and he says it every day.
Do you want me to also tell you that Ateki is doing it?
No, but that's not what you are saying here.
No. I said Ateki is ready.
You are giving justifications. Why?
No, Mr. Leo. I mean, I don't know whether you are not understanding me. Yes. I said Ateki is saying that he's for coalition. Yes. He's working for coalition. We are even knocking doors.
At least
for coalition.
He should have agreed with one person by now. So he has
agreed with so many people right now.
Who are they?
I mean, the thing is, there is one thing that is, Cameroonians, open your eyes and be wise. It's Ateki does not publish every meeting he has with other political leaders. This is the thing. Because the number of meetings that we've had with Barrister Akeremuna, then he should have put in his page. Today I met Barrister Akeremuna, we discussed about the coalition. I think we should be hoping for something. I mean, if he has done like that, I think you will be saying something else. Or when he meets with Bello, today he met with Bello. Today, as I'm talking to you, they discussed. You see, he has met with Chiruma, they have discussed. You see, so the other day, the campaign manager, I went to I mean,
okay, you've been now corruption and governance. Corruption and governance reforms are always on the table. Almost everybody is talking about it. What innovative anti-corruption mechanisms will PAL put on the table to fix this problem?
Ateki, Seta Caxton, on corruption, for him it's a fierce fight. Okay. Yeah, it's a fierce fight. First of all, it starts with establishing a state of rule of law, because when there is a state of rule of law, fighting corruption becomes easy. First, the Constitution must apply to everyone from the President of the Republic. He says, if only Article 66 of the Constitution could be respected, it will set the precedence for all ministers, and everybody will measure the amount of money they are taking from the coffers to enrich themselves. Because if you were to declare what you get into office with and what you get out of the office with, you are going to understand that people will ask questions when they see more than what is in your coffers, and in cutting this money to put in, I mean, capital project. Secondly, to fight corruption, you need to make CONACT, fighting corruption in Cameroon, to have the capacity to recommend and take actions on behalf of the government, not just studying cases, producing reports, and it ends there. No, there should be an enforcement capacity of CONACT. There should be an enforcement capacity. And for him, he says that this enforcement capacity is a conjunctured role between CONACT, Truth, Justice, and Reconciliation Commission. Because this commission is now going to establish people who are guilty of corruption, and then based on the legal interpretation of those who are in charge in this commission, the necessary sanctions must be taken for people that are found guilty of corruption. And for me, this singular act of rule of law, this singular act of reinforcing CONACT, and the act of putting CONACT and True Justice Reconciliation Commission to sanction those who are guilty and making sure that properties are taken from those people, this is enough to put people on the right track. But we propose more than just that element. Okay. In our political program, www.ateki2025.com, when you go there, you read this program. So this kind of tax system does not work in order to put a buoyant economy. So first of all, you reverse the tax system and make it progressive. Pay as you earn, pay as you go. Secondly, you make sure that training which this one now has to touch the academic and the school curriculum. I mean, the education system. The education system must be reformed to adapt to modern and the world-class teaching system that certificates offered in schools, in universities and training centers can actually befit the kind of jobs that enterprises and professional offices are asking. There you are creating a competitive and buoyant economy, and also going to make loans and bank operations flexible in the country, because we have a country where the banking system is so retrogressive that when young entrepreneurs go to take loan, they will be asking young entrepreneur, a young person as young as 25, 30, to bring a land title, you know, which is in Cameroon the most common document that is used as mortgage for loans. But we know that the law does not permit anyone below 45 to own land title in this country. So those are some of the things that must be reformed in order to engage young people, in order to create a buoyant economy, in order to move to a pro-private sector economy.
How ready are you people to be transparent about the funding that you guys are going to receive from the government for campaigns? Are you going to tell Cameroonians this is how much we have received?
Of course.
This is how much people have given us.
Of course.
This is how we
this makes me to come to have a reflection.
We're talking about transparency.
Yeah. Yes. This makes me to come to a reflection to something that happened. I think some days ago when we were at the Yaoundé Conference Center having a consultation with Elekam on the political party stakeholder discussion, and then someone get up, a representative of a political party, and then was asking me not that, you know, when the money for political parties is out, they should not announce it, they should make it in such a way people can go and collect it in limbo. And I was like, so how can you be asking Elekam to be transparent, and then you are asking me not to be transparent about the money to be given? First, it is political parties that receive such invitation and receive the money, not candidates, not the campaign team of the candidate. It's political parties, because MENAT recognizes political parties and representatives of those political parties as it is in their dossier. So it's the responsibility of the party, based on their internal rules and regulation, to make it open statement, or to make it an open statement by declaring the amount and then telling Cameroonians how it's going to be used or not. So this is it. But as far as Ateki 2025 campaign team is concerned, this is an issue that concerns Cameroonians, and they need to know. They need to know the amount and how it's been allocated for the campaign. They need to know. It is their right to know. So if we also go for coalition, they need to know if the candidate still receives this money or not, and then how it is being distributed. The only nuance in this thing is that some candidates are not the party leaders of the political party that invest them, which is the case with us, and others candidates are. So this has to do with party internal rules and regulations, actually.
Internal rules and regulations. So Fabrice is saying that when they receive money, they're going to tell Cameroonians that this is how much government has given them.
For campaign.
For campaign now.
Yeah.
And then people are giving money to you guys now also. You are receiving support, fundraising.
Mr. Leo.
You are going to be, no, let me finish. You're going to be, you want to unseat a government.
Exactly,
We are talking about
exactly
transparency here. Persons have given you money. It is true that some persons may not want to be identified. But should Cameroonians not know that this is how much we receive? Maybe we failed because we did not receive the expected amount, because keeping it also under the blanket also give the impression that maybe you were given 500 or 1 billion.
And the level of Ateki 2025 campaign has been from what we call personal network. Personal network first of the candidate. Personal network first of the candidate. Personal network first of the candidate. I know why I'm repeating this over and over again. Of the candidate. And all what we have been doing have still been the same thing. Because we have not been able to do crowdfunding or popular fundraising. 2025 election is a little bit complex and more difficult than 2018. In 2018, I saw candidates really racing, doing public fundraising, and people supported. But this year, we have not been able, by popular support, what they call flyer with mobile money number and this, we have not been able to raise 1 million francs CFA with this. We have not been able to do that. So what do? We go back again. There are people in our cycle that we have exhausted them. In our cycle, I'm talking about personal network of people where we keep calling them, hey, if you leave this thing, this is for the general good. So, going to stake 30 million. This is the money that a young person or a group of young person could invest in a business with you, right? There's no guarantee that you're going to get it back. But you want change in Cameroon. After that, you need to do campaign. Guess what? A budget for campaign in this country, I just gave you a few statistics. If you want to recruit 31,000 people to watch your vote, with just a minimum amount of 10,000, that's 300 million. And then the activities we did in Bamena, Boya, Monatele, each regional visit for a normal expenditure for people who are cost effective, you know, yes.
Where's the money coming from?
It's not less than.
Where has the money?
It's not less than 5 to 7 million.
Where has the money been coming from? From your pocket?
Personal sourcing.
Okay.
Personal sourcing. From the pocket of the candidate and his immediate team, especially for Ateki 2025 campaign. And this is what I am saying, Cameroonians. Sometimes when you say do this, do that, you need to support us. Indeed, you need to support us. You need to support us. And this is the reason why I keep saying it's tough. Because you don't expect people to do magic when the money is not coming from anywhere.
How do you want Cameroonians to support and understand you when they say you people should come together so that
do you know in Cameroon
the burden is lighted? You say no.
In Cameroon, Mr. Liu, in Cameroon, we have 30 million people, yes, approximately. We have about 16 million people who are eligible to vote. We have 8 million people who are registered. If you were to divide the 16 million eligible Cameroonians to vote by 11 candidates, you will see that each candidate will not have less than 1.5 million people. So if Cameroonians engage with the candidates as they are, it's going to create a clear demarcation of who carries the highest weight. I mean, it's going to create a clear demarcation, and that person has the capacity to win. None of the candidates, the 11 candidates, I'm not talking about the ruling party, none of the 11 candidates has been able to raise a certain amount of money from Cameroonians, unless I'm not talking on behalf of others, but as of what I know from our own campaign. That is the thing. But when you look at the ruling party, today they tell you that this section has raised 300 and something million. That section has raised this 300 million.
We're talking about Ateki.
But when it comes to opposition, they are only asking us what to go to TV and communicate. You need transport. You need. I mean, everything about politics is money. And a sustainable campaign can never be funded from the pocket of individuals. It cannot work. And this is why we are being sucked dry.
Okay, you're sucked dry.
And then this is why we are telling Cameroonians, please, people don't even know what we have refused, rejected, things that, you know, at one point when you look at yourself as a young person and you say, what do I want to achieve as an individual? And then what do we want to achieve as a collective? And when we tell people that these things are not easy, they think they just keep making sweeping statements and general statements. It's not easy because you're dealing, I said it earlier, you're dealing with resource which is not there, and people are not willing to give, and people are only putting the condition of coalition, and then the coalition is not also coming, and then you're dealing with generation, because the people in their 70s and 80s, they don't necessarily need to do the kind of fundraising we are doing. Because these are people who have worked with government. These are people who have saved money. These are people who have friends that they can easily call. I mean, some of the candidates, they can easily call 20 or 30 of their friends, each sending just 2 or 3 million, and they raise funds. This is network that you build with time, with age, with experience.
I read from an MRC CRM militant who recently said that almost everybody is rushing to Professor Maurice Kamto today, asking that some Cameroonians should apologize to him, because when his candidacy got rejected by Elekam and later on by the Constitutional Council, Cameroonians did not come out to defend it. Have you people gone to him? What do you expect from him?
Yeah,
or you are not part of those who are rushing to him?
Not saying rushing, but saying going to him, yes. We've done so.
Okay.
The candidate, Ateki Seta Caxton, himself, has spoken to close members of Prof. Maurice Kamto, not once, not twice, at different places in Yaoundé. Myself, have gone to ask for audience there, because we think that there is a point where you have to acknowledge and accept that this is the place of this person. This is the place of this person. You acknowledge that, Papa, we understand your capacity, we understand your weight, but we think that you should play the role that is most needed, not only by us, but by Cameroonians, so that this thing goes smoothly. Now, Cameroonians coming out is another thing. From recent history, that's just 2018-19, people came out. I come out, you knew. I did manifestation in favor of Prof. Kamto and CRM in 2019-2020. And some of my friends are still in prison. There's one of my friends, I communicated with him today, who is a CRM guy. He's in prison, right? And some other people got released 3 years later, and some others had 7 years, you see. But it's not a good experience for a young person to go to prison. It's not a wish, you see. But in the process of doing what you're doing, because we know the consequences of the kind of things that we're doing, it can happen. Even some of the people who attempted doing protests on the day of the Constitutional Council were arrested, including the young journalists. And then some of them were later released. I don't know if all is later released. I don't have full information about that. But what Cameroonians need to know is that, and what the team and members of CRM need to know today, is that no one has the magic wand in front of a dictatorial regime. No one has the magic wand. If anyone had the magic wand, the person will have done it alone. Nobody has the magic wand. Everybody is interdependent of others' efforts. Everybody is interdependent of what another person can offer. And maybe you can be neglecting the David that will kill the Goliath. The David that will kill the Goliath. Most dictatorial regimes in Africa has been uprooted by the most unexpected persons. I am telling you this. And that's why sometimes humility is important. Sometimes accepting reality of things is important. Sometimes listening to everybody is important. We are young people who are humble, ready to learn, ready to listen, but also proving our capacity of the things we say we can do. And that's what I admire most about Ateki. He proves himself of what he says he can do. He does it, and then he humbly listens to all other persons. And as a presidential candidate, passing through the processes, it's not a favor. It's not a favor from anyone. It's not a favor from anyone. I can tell you this. Ateki's candidature is by merit, and it's by the will of God. It's by the will of God, because God has been in this process with us throughout till date. Mr. Leo, sometimes we pray when we do these activities that we are doing, and then I look at Ateki, he look at me and he say, bro, this is how far and where we are right now. And what do? We keep forging ahead, and we keep going to those other people, because we know that it's not an individual's thing. Cameroon is bigger than every one of us. We just need to understand this and talk with everyone. It's true, people can have differences in the past, but this does not mean that they can reconcile this. As well as people may be together presently, and tomorrow they have differences. This is the case with the ministers that have resigned in President Pobia's government. Previously, they were eating together, holding ministerial meetings together, doing things together. Right now, they have part ways, and they are seemingly becoming the favorites of Cameroonians. You see? This is what is happening now. Are you guys telling us that that's what the younger generation should do? Are you guys telling us that we should start being inconsistent? Are you guys telling us that we can also take that road and then tomorrow you will not use stones to shoot us? Is it what you guys are saying? Because we need to know, we need to understand. You are the people. Vox populi et vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So we need to know if that is the case. You see? So for us, we are humbly submitting that we have something to offer, and let them listen to us, including Prof. Kamto, which we respect and appreciate for his commitment for change in Cameroon.
Now, so many persons are expecting him to also make a declaration. Are you expecting him to make that declaration?
We are as well expecting.
Yeah, what are you expecting from him?
We are expecting that he should give his support to the person that convinced him to be able to cause the change that is much needed on the 12th. He himself and his team, on their strategic discussion, knows best what they want as a team, and they all are seeing what Cameroonians are asking from them. So it's his choice and his team, his choice and his team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his choice.
Okay, his choice and his team. Now, finally, what are your message? What is the message you are giving out to Cameroonians? I cannot afford to read the message. There's just so many.
I would like to read some of them thereafter, or maybe you forward some of them to me. Okay.
They're all in the forum.
All right, that's
good.
good.
Go through them. Yes.
All right. So what I would like to say is, first, I want to address my brothers and sisters in the English-speaking regions. Dear brothers and sisters, I want to give this message specifically to those fighting for independence of Ambazonia. Brothers and sisters, I, Fabrice Lena, have been in Cameroon since 2000 and, in fact, since I was born. But since 2016, I have been active. And I saw the beginning of this thing. I worked in Aya Foundation. We traveled to all the nooks and crannies of the 13 divisions. We went to Calabar in Nigeria, to Taraba, to Akwa Ibom, to Njimenta. It was tough. There were tough moments, very tough moments, and moments of difficult decisions. Right up to 2019, when I decided to come back and take a role at the Popular Action Party, an important role, being the Secretary General and playing politics and seeing the consequences of me, English-speaking Cameroonian from Baligam, Seta subdivision, staying in Yaoundé, doing politics in Cameroon. Guess what? Any other young person who had a dream like me, who schooled in GBHS Bamenda Tamulu, and today cannot stand to run for parliamentary or municipal election, either in Santa, in Tuba, in Womb, because he's opposition. The dream of such a person is being killed. And I feel like my dream is being killed. It is not an individual dream. So many other young people have this dream. I beseech you all to consider the voices of those who think that elections should take place on the 12th of October in Boya, in Kumba, in Manfe, in Wum, in Bachibo, in Bali, in Bamenda, in Santa. Please, we cannot keep on going around again. The other day, the statement I made I shared it with some of you. I shared it with some of you. And I saw some other brothers made the same statement. This is a plea that is very important. Very important. We have 651,000 people registered in Bamenda, Northwest region to vote. And we have 480 something registered, 480 something thousand registered in the Southwest region to vote. This combines to give us a total of 1.1 million votes in Northwest and Southwest. Dear brothers and sisters, if you forbid us not to take part and do elections, CBN will take it by force. And we will end up crying again. We will have our eyes to cry. This is not my wish. And there is nothing we will do about it. Politics, diplomacy, there is no mercy. And when it is in the hands of those who are as rigid, as autocratic, as difficult, as tough as the people we have in power, sometimes we will have to reconsider our strategy. Sometimes we have to reconsider our position. Sometimes we have to rethink. It has happened in other places around the world. People rethink, people recalculate, people redialogue, people reconsider their positions. Reconsider your positions. This is a plea from a son. I am doing this today because it hurts me that I cannot do the kind of campaign for Ateki, Seta, Caxton that I should have been doing. I cannot do the kind of campaign that I should have been doing in Baligan village, in Bali, in Tuba, in Bachibo, in Bengui, in Boya, in Limbe, in Munyuka, in Kumba. We cannot do the kind of campaign we should have been doing. Whereas I have been on the field to register people to vote. I have been on the field to feed mothers, to help children, to do activities in order to bond ourselves. Does it mean that those of us who are in the middle, our voices don't count, or we don't matter, or we should I don't understand. What kind of form of sincerity do you want us to show again to mean that we simply want the best for our people at all levels? We simply want the best for our people. Please, this is my submission as campaign manager for Ateki. Let's not make the error that we will regret again. When you look at Bonamosadi is now booming with businesses created by our brothers and sisters. The same thing in BMRC. These things were supposed to be in Limbe, in Bamenda, in Kumaimboya. The paradox is happening. CBD elites are constructing everywhere in Fako, everywhere in Mezam, but the whole of the other areas are the way it is. Okay. Each time I go to Bamenda, I cry. I look at Tamulung, the shadow of itself, where I schooled.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Leo, I always talk about these things so passionately because I really want them to hear me out. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this platform to say this.
Okay.
Thank you.
We also want to thank you all for watching the program. Like we said yesterday, the conversation towards the 2025 presidential elections continue on different platforms on My Media Prime TV. We also expect that these discussions continue in your respective homes and communities, building strategies on how to engage better in the political process that has been unleashed to culminate in on October the 12th, 2025, when we vote for the new president of Cameroon. Thank you all for watching. A great weekend. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.